Hey guys, welcome and thank you for stopping by another video. Today we're going to focus on the attacking side of Siege in Low-Elo. Just as a disclaimer, when I say Low-Elo, I really just mean anybody in Bronze or Silver or even as high as Gold 3, just because these players don't have as much experience as higher Elo players, and they also don't have the developed game sense that higher Elo players would have. In my opinion, attackers will always be at a disadvantage to start when playing Siege, as they must overthrow an objective within a certain time constraint. As I said in my Defender side video, most people classify attackers into two different categories, which would be fraggers and support operators, but I'm going to break it down into four. Those categories are going to be soft breachers, hard breachers, control operators, and gadget destruction operators. So now moving on to my operator suggestions for each category of attackers. The first category we're going to focus on is soft breachers. The two soft breachers that I would suggest that low elo players play are Ashe and Sophia. Sophia is a 2-2 operator, and she is going to be my main suggestion for new players. Sophia's gadget, her KS-79 lifeline, equips her with a grenade launcher that is similar to Ashe's and also a pair of concussion grenades that can stun enemies. I picked Sophia over Ashe just because of her ability to also stun people while doing the same job as Ashe, which is blowing up soft walls, and she's also got 2 armor, which gives her the ability to take more bullets per fight. Sophia is also very balanced when it comes to her primary weapons. Both weapons are very viable in any situation. Her AR, the M762, has a very moderate recoil, but also does high damage. It's easy to control, and there's a lot of customability to it. Sophia's second primary, her LMGE, does a decent amount of damage, and it is optimal for taking on multiple enemies within one fight, due to its high ammo capacity. Sophia's secondary weapon, the RG-15 handgun, is the only secondary weapon that she has. The RG-15 is a very balanced handgun, as it has a red dot sight, a decent clip size, and moderate amount of damage. It's great for taking on fights after you run out of ammo in your primary. Sophia also comes equipped with a claymore and breach charges. It's up to you to decide which one you would want to choose based on your playstyle. Overall, I think Sophia is just the better version of Ashe, and she's also very easy to get a hang of. If you've ever played Ashe, you can definitely play Sophia. Moving on to our next category, we have our hard breachers. Our hard breachers would include Thermite and Hibana. In this case, I would suggest Hibana, just because I think she is a lot safer than Thermite and can be used in a lot more ways than Thermite can. Hibana is a 3-speed, 1-armor operator, and she has a very unique ability. Hibana's ability is her X-Kairos pellet launcher. It can be shot from a distance, and it has 3 charges for multiple uses, which makes her very versatile when it comes to hard breaching. Hibana has 2 primary weapons, the Type 89 assault rifle and the Supernova shotgun, but please, for the love of God, do not use the Supernova. The Type 89 is a very good primary. It has a high fire rate and the recoil is pretty easy to control. That being said, the only downside of the gun that I could see is that its mag size is very low compared to other ARs. Ultimately, if you can aim decently and you can hit your shots with this gun, it is a very quick kill. Hibana comes with 2 secondary weapons, the P229 RC handgun and the Bearing 9 machine pistol. Most people default to the machine pistol just because they can control the recoil, but for the love of God, if you cannot control recoil, just use the P229 because you will not hit a shot with the Bearing 9. Hibana's gadgets are stun grenades and breach charges. Most people use stun grenades, but if you feel the need to bring breach charges with her, so be it. Overall, Hibana is a very good operator when you're learning hard breaching, and the only downside that I could see is if you misalign the X-Kairos pellets, sometimes you can't climb through the hole or get through the hole, which is fine because she has 3 and you can just try again. Moving on to our third category, we have control operators. Most people are unfamiliar what the term control operator means, so let me describe it for you. In my opinion, control operators can be classified as any operator that has the ability to control the actions of a defender because the attackers must react in a way that they usually would not in accordance with the attacking operator's gadget. Examples of control operators would be Dekebi and her logic bomb, or Gridlock and her track stingers. My suggestion for low elo control operators would be Gridlock. Gridlock has 3 sets of track stingers, which are deployable objects that spread over the course of time on the ground. These objects, if a defender walks on them, does periodic damage and can eventually kill the operator if they stand on them for too long. This makes her optimal for flank watch and roam control. Gridlock comes with a great choice of primaries. The F90, which is a low recoil AR, has great damage and a decent fire rate. The M249 LMG, which is her second primary weapon, comes with a special ACOG sight, which also is used by Capitao. Both of these weapons are very well rounded and can be used in any situation. Gridlock comes with two secondaries, the Super Shorty Shotgun, which is the preferred secondary used by most people, or the SDP 9mm pistol. Most people choose the Super Shorty Shotgun just because of its ability to make rotation and kill holes, as well as its ability to destroy soft walls. Gridlock's gadgets include smoke grenades and breach charges. Most of the time people choose smoke grenades just because of the ability to cover plants and to cover hallways to secure an area, but if you choose to bring breach charges, just know that she does have the Super Shorty Shotgun, which does almost the same exact thing. Overall, I don't think Gridlock has many downsides, if any at all. I think she's great for watching flanks and controlling points on the map, as well as getting a plant down and controlling a plant. Gridlock is a 3 armor 1 speed operator. This paired with her LMG and track stingers makes her very good at guiding the flow of a round. For our final category of attacking operators, we have the Gadget Destruction category. These operators are going to be any operator that can destroy gadgets with their ability, such as mute jammers, Jaeger charges, whatever it may be. Examples of these operators would be Twitch and Thatcher, but we're going to choose Thatcher just because of his ease of use. Thatcher is a 2 armor, 2 speed operator that has been in the game since Season 1, Year 1. Thatcher comes with 3 EMP grenades that destroy all electronics within the range of the explosion. The explosion can go through walls and get gadgets on ceilings as well. Thatcher is one of few operators in the game to come with 3 primary weapons. His first primary weapon, his AR-33, is an assault rifle with high fire rate and low damage. His second assault rifle primary is the L85A2, which has a lower fire rate but a higher damage rating, and his third primary is the M590A1 shotgun. All of these weapons are good, but most people prefer the L85A2. That being said, Thatcher only comes with 1 secondary weapon, which is his P226 MK25 handgun. It is a very balanced pistol, and it is superb at taking fights after you run out of ammo in your primary. Thatcher's gadgets include a claymore or breach charges. In my opinion, I feel the claymore is more useful for runouts and flank watch, but if you feel more inclined to bring breach charges, you're more than welcome to. I don't think either option is very bad. In my opinion, I believe Thatcher is the most useful electronic destruction operator in the game. The only thing you have to worry about are Jaeger charges because they can destroy your EMP charges, but if you EMP the Jaeger through the wall, you're fine. Don't worry about it. Okay, so that's going to wrap up today's video. If I had to leave you guys with a couple tips for attacking, these would be it. Number 1 would to be diversify your team. You don't want a team full of soft destruction and no hard breach, and vice versa. You don't want all hard breach because it just makes getting into the point so much harder than it actually has to be. If you have one of almost every class of operator, it'll make getting into the point so much easier. Number 2 is please don't forget about your gadgets. You have them for a reason, they're there to help you. I see so many people going into ranked and forgetting what operator they play, like a thermite who just doesn't destroy a reinforced wall that is necessary to get into a point. It just makes the game so much harder than it has to be. Number 3, and this is sometimes out of your control, but try to work as a team as much as possible. You as an attacker are at a disadvantage as you have to go to the defending point. The defenders just have to sit in the point and control it, whereas you have to get into it or you lose. And that leads us to number 4, which is watch the clock and please drone. These are 2 very simple things that a lot of people just don't do. I see a lot of people just holding an angle for like 20 seconds or 30 seconds out of a round, and then they just waste the time down and they have 5 seconds to plan and they haven't even gotten into the room yet, which is just sad. Thank you guys for stopping by. I hope you learned something today, and if there is something you need me to clarify or something that I forgot, drop it in the comments and I'll try to address it as best as I can. Anyway, thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.